Elédùmarè bàbá ìbà rẹ lọ́jọ́ òní o. Ọba títọ́mọ rẹ lẹ́yìn o. Wá tì wá lẹ́yìn o. Má jẹ́ kójú tì wá láyé. Àmì bẹ̀bẹ̀ lọ́dọ̀ rẹ. Ẹnikẹ́ni tó bá fẹ̀yìntì yọ kò mà ní lọ lọ́wọ́ òfo. Bàbá mi ti sọ̀rọ̀ mi dayọ̀ o. Jésù Kristi mo dúpẹ́ ṣeun 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 ṣeun. Gbogbo pé ìṣòro mi ti di pẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ o. Hallelujah o. Tolú ìjọ mímọ́.
Bàbá mi ti sọ̀rọ̀ mi dayọ̀. Jésù Kristi mo dúpẹ́ ṣeun.
Bàbá mi ti sọ̀rọ̀ mi dayọ̀. Lẹ́yìn rẹ̀ o, kò sẹ́lòmíràn mọ́. Gbogbo ké ìṣòro mi mo ló ti di pẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ o. Olùjọ mímọ́ o, mo kà hallelujah. Bàbá mi sọ̀rọ̀ mi dayọ̀ o.
Bàbá mi ti sọ̀rọ̀ mi dayọ̀.
Jésù Kristi mo dúpẹ́ ṣeun 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 o.
Gbogbo pé ìṣòro mi ti di pẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ o. Hallelujah.
Bàbá mi sọ̀rọ̀ mi dayọ̀ o.
Bàbá mi ti sọ̀rọ̀ mi dayọ̀.
Jésù Kristi mo dúpẹ́ ṣeun ṣeun o.
Gbogbo pé
Ìṣòro mi o, ó di pẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ o. Bàbá o, bàbá o. Mo kí yín o gbogbo ọmọ Ọlọ́run. Jẹ́ fẹ̀yìntì Olúwa, ojú kò ní tì yín láyé. Kí ló ń bá ẹ lẹ́rù o? Má má bẹ̀rù mọ́ o. Agbọ́kànlé Jèhófà o, kò ní sókè ìṣòro. Bókè ìṣòro bá tilẹ̀ wá, á lọlẹ̀ pátá. Adúró tí Jésù kì í pòfo, ìyẹn ti dá mi lójú o. Mo ti láyọ̀ nínú Jésù, ọba mímọ́ mi. Ó gbà mí là, ó mú mi yè, ó bùkún fún mi.
mo ti láyọ̀ nínú Jésù. Ọba mímọ́ mi. Ó gbà mí là, ó mú mi yè, ó bùkún.
Mo fẹ̀yìntì Jésù o.
Ilé Jésù Kristi. Ọba mímọ́ mi. Ọba mi kí ojú tayọ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ọba mi.
Kí ló ń bá ẹ lẹ́rù o? Má mi kàn rárá o. Bí ó bá ń bẹ láàyè o, má má bẹ̀rù rárá. Nínú ìjọ mímọ́ látọ̀run wá, níbẹ̀ lágbára gbé wá o. Láti gbàlà, láti wòsàn, láti ṣe ìbùkún o. Bó bá jẹ́ ọmọ ló ń wá láyé rẹ̀, kódà má fòyà rárá. Bàbá mímọ́ ló ti sọ̀rọ̀ mi dayọ̀ o. Olùjọ mímọ́ o ṣe o. Ògo ọ̀la ẹ̀yẹ fún ọ. Mo ti láyọ̀ o.
Mo ti láyọ̀ nínú Jésù. Ọba mímọ́ mi. Ó gbà mí là, ó mú mi yè, ó bùkún.
Mo ti mí lé Jésù.
Mo sì mí lé Jésù Kristi. Ọba mímọ́ mi. Ọba mi kí ojú tayọ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ọba mi.
pín ní oyè o ọ̀pọ̀ lórí jẹ lówùúrọ̀ ebi pa wọ́n dọjọ́ alẹ́ ọ̀pọ̀ ló bímọ lówùúrọ̀ o tí kò bá wọn kalẹ̀ ọ̀pọ̀ ló lówó lówùúrọ̀ o kò má bá wọn kalẹ̀ ẹni jíire bá bá kalẹ̀ lóye o Elédùmarè àmì bẹ̀bẹ̀ lọ́dọ̀ rẹ o gbogbo ẹni tẹ́ ṣoore ayọ̀ fún o ẹ kó bá wa kalẹ̀. mo ń wo oore tí Jésù ṣe fún mi ó pọ̀jù iyanrìn òkun lọ Jésù ire làwa yóò máa sìn o láyé yìí o títí o bó dọ̀run mo wo oore tí bàbá ṣe. mo wo oore tí Jésù ṣe fún mi. ó pọ̀jù iyanrìn òkun lọ Jésù ire lèmi yóò máa sìn láyé yìí. Bàbá wa Abrahamu nígbà ayé rẹ̀ láyé ó gbẹ́kẹ̀lé Jèhófà ó ṣe àṣeyẹ láyé. Ísákì nígbà tirẹ̀ ó gbẹ́kẹ̀lé Jèhófà ó ṣe àṣeyẹ. Ìyẹn ti dá mi lójú. Ìgbà tiwa rèé o màmá nígbà tá a fẹ̀yìntì ọ̀run má jẹ́ kojú kó tiwa láyé. Àmì bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ́dọ̀ ire ayọ̀ ire ayọ̀ ire ayọ̀ màrè o látòkè wá lọ́dọ̀ rẹ ló wà bàbá. ire ayọ̀ ire ayọ̀ ire ayọ̀ bàbá là. ire ayọ̀ màrè látòkè jọ̀wọ́ o. ire ayọ̀ àmì bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ́dọ̀ rẹ bàbá. ire ayọ̀ bàbá látòkè wá. ire ayọ̀ níbo ló wà o ará mi ẹ wá fi yé mi o torí ọ̀pọ̀ ló ń wáre ayọ̀ lọ sọ́dọ̀ òrìṣà láyé irọ́ ni wọ́n ń pa o lọ́jọ́ Jèhófà ire ayọ̀ pé wọ́n ire ayọ̀ tó yẹ wá o Elédùmarè wá fi ránṣẹ́ kókó rẹ̀ kó bá lè hàn lára wa o à ń bẹ̀ ọ́ o ire ayọ̀ o bàbá. ire ayọ̀ ire ayọ̀ ire ayọ̀ bàbá là. ire ayọ̀ màrè là. ire ayọ̀ ire ayọ̀ ire ayọ̀ bàbá là. ire ayọ̀ ire ayọ̀ ire ayọ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ rárá, ó lẹ́nu kò lè sọ̀rọ̀ rárá. Ìrẹ́ làwa yóò máa yìn láyé o. Olùjọ mi mọ́ o jọ̀wọ́ o, gbé wa ga o ká lè sìn náà dópin. Olúwa o jọ̀wọ́ o, má ṣe. Jésù ló pé ẹ̀sà máa bọ̀ o.
Yàrá tètè yá máa bọ̀.
Ọlọ́run yẹn ló pè ọ́ o.
Yàrá tètè yá máa bọ̀.
Ọba tó fún gbogbo ronú títí o. Ó ní wàásù lórí o. Orí kẹta ló ń sọ̀rọ̀ ikú ara rẹ̀. Ẹ bá mi lọ sí kẹta wò ó. Ìmúlẹ̀ mo fò mọ́ láyé o. Ọmọ Ádámù gbọ́ ò gbọ́ ò gbọ́ ò gbọ́ ò gbọ́ ò gbọ́ ò. Nítorí pé orí ọjọ́ ò dúró dání àti kókó ẹ̀fẹ̀kọ́. Bí ẹjọ́ lówó wà á kú. Bí ẹjọ́ lọ́wọ́. Nítorí kí ni o? Òjò lówó wà á kú o. Àṣẹ Elédùmarè ni. Wàhálà ipòkípò tó wà kó ṣiṣẹ́ tó dá. Wàhálà lọ sọ́nà àṣẹ Elédùmarè lórí o. Yóò jọlọgbọ́n. Wà á kú. Àkópa wà lọ. Òbúrẹ́ wá kọjá sọ̀rọ̀. Nítorí kí ni o? Ìwọ bá lọ́gbọ́n kó ju tèṣù lọ́sẹ̀. Àṣẹ Elédùmarè ní sẹ́ wà lọ. Nítorí kí ni o? Mo ronú títí mo ronú títí àṣẹ àṣàmà láyé já. Mo ronú títí. Ṣé àṣàmà láyé já o? Mo ronú títí àṣẹ òkú láyé o. Ìmúlẹ̀ òkú láyé o. Gbọ́ ò gbọ́ ò gbọ́ ò gbọ́ ò gbọ́. Gbogbo ọmọ ènìyàn là ń bá wí. Ṣèbí Mẹ́túsẹ́là mo ló kú ó lọ sọ́run. Ènìyàn sórí rẹ̀ kòtòkòrò. Ìgbà ìrònú rèé o. Kó rántí bó ti lólé ayé rẹ̀ sí o. Ọ̀rẹ́ mi o. Èyí tó ṣe làárọ̀ yìí lẹ́yìn ikú rẹ̀. Bí wọ́n bá ṣe rere wàá pèrè. Gbogbo ṣọ́ra púpọ̀.
Ṣọ́ra o, ọmọ ìgbàlà, ẹ ṣọ́ra púpọ̀.
Ṣọ́ra o, níwà lérò lọ́rọ̀ nínú ìṣe gbogbo.
Ṣọ́ra o, ọmọ ìgbàlà, ẹ ṣọ́ra púpọ̀.
Èmi Olúwa bójú wọlẹ̀. Wo ẹ̀yin ọmọ ènìyàn. Kíyèsí, inú mi bàjẹ́ gidigidi fún ìwà yín. Mo káàánú gidigidi. Èyí ló mú mi rán ìjọ mímọ́ wa láti wá kìlọ̀ fún yín. Fẹ́ni tó bá gbọ́, kó bá lè yè fún ara rẹ̀. Ṣọ́ra o, alọ́mọ ènìyàn, ká ronú o.
Ṣọ́ra o, ọmọ ìgbàlà, ẹ ṣọ́ra púpọ̀.
Ṣọ́ra o, níwà lérò rẹ o, nínú ìṣe gbogbo. Ṣọ́ra o,
Ọmọ ìgbàlà, ẹ ṣọ́ra púpọ̀.
gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọ̀rọ̀ tí mo gba ẹnu ìdí. Ìbá dára bí ìwọ bá lè kà á, torí ó ṣe pàtàkì fún gbogbo olùgbọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ yìí. Iye, ayọ̀,
Hallelujah.
àlàáfíà
Hallelujah.
fún ẹni tó bá gbọ́,
Hallelujah.
tó bá mú ṣẹ.
On behalf of the committee of the 35th transition anniversary of our father, Reverend Samuel Bilewu Joseph Oshofa, I want to welcome everyone to another session, which is more like a session for us to
Àní, ilé o,
get to know our father more, the one whose legacy
ilé o, ilé
we are living at the moment,
wa ló jẹ́ o. Ilé,
the whose name we carry as Celestians, the one whom everybody know from afar, everybody knows him spiritually. Not many know him at all. Not many had the opportunity to meet him either while he was alive or via visions and revelations, like our father, Baba Philemon Igewo mentioned. But we thank God that we are part of this goodly heritage, and I pray that we will not become a fallout in Jesus' name. I'm your anchor for today, Sister Emily Bolaji, and with me is Sister Oluwakemi Awonuga. We will be coordinating this program together. Don't forget that this program is broadcasted live from the True Word in Season studios, and I'm of GTG Bolt. And you can follow us on our social media handles: True Word in Season on Instagram, True Word in Season on Facebook, TWI Season on Twitter, and of course, for more videos, www.truewordinseason.com. And before we go on, I would like to do a rundown of some of the things that we're looking at today. We had the first part of our father's videos from his seniors and juniors about who the man was, a family man. There's so many misconceptions about the man as a family man, but we'll get into that right about now. Let's hear the voice of Sister Oluwakemi Awonuga before we go ahead. Thank you. Sister Kemi, over to you, ma. Please unmute your mic, ma. Your mic is muted. Thank you. Your mic is muted.
Oh, okay. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
I'm Oluwakemi Awonuga. Yeah. So I am Oluwakemi Awonuga, and I welcome everybody to this second edition of Papa Seniors and Juniors. There's a whole lot to learn, and I'm really excited about the second part. If you've watched the first part, you see how beautiful it was, how his wives and the children were able to talk beautifully about Papa Oshofa even after 35 years. And it's made us see another beautiful part of our father, Reverend SBJ Oshofa. So tonight we're going to have something more from him. We're going to get another view, another beautiful view. And I want us all to sit back, relax, and enjoy it, and also learn a lot as fathers, mothers, and children. There's a whole lot to learn from this video. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sister Kemi. Thank you. That's my co-anchor for tonight, Sister Oluwakemi Awonuga. And before we go on, of course, we know we have to pray. And I would like to call on our father. Yoruba used to say, Ayemeji Ijasha, our father, Brother Samuel Ademola Bolaji, to give us the opening prayer. And yes, we will continue from there. Done. Thank you so much. Yes.
Let us pray. In this name. The Mimo, so come next time. Our nation, Wayo ìṣẹ́gun òkìkíṣe ìrírọ̀pá ìlú ó ṣẹ̀rọ̀ ilé ìrẹ́ tó ṣe. Jehovah, Jésù Kristi, Michael mímọ́, bàbá rere Ọlọ́run ayérayé, a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ rẹ̀. Nítorí láti ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ ọ̀sẹ̀ náà títí di àkókò yìí, ó fi wá sílẹ̀. Ó wà pẹ̀lú wa. Ó ń fi ẹ̀mí ẹ̀ tọ́ wa. Mọ̀pẹ́ gba ìyìn wa. Ìpele tó kàn látúndé yìí ó bàbá mímọ́. Wá ṣẹ̀ wá rìn. Ìrìn àjò náà dọwọ́ rẹ ní àgbéyẹ̀wò ìrìn àjò bàbá wa ọmọ rẹ Samuel Bílẹ̀ Joseph Ọ̀ṣọ́fà. Jẹ́ bí ẹni ìdílé. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí bàbá ilé, bí baálé ilé àti bàbá àwọn ọmọ. Òun la fẹ́ gbé yẹ̀wò lọ́tùn lónìí. Lórúkọ Jésù fi ìmọ̀ye ẹ̀ hàn wá. Mí sí ọkàn gbogbo. Làwa padà kó inú ìṣìnà wa. Kí gbogbo àṣìṣe àti àṣìṣọ àtẹ̀yìnwá. Lórúkọ Jésù kó gba ìmúbọ̀sípò. Kí ìmọ́lẹ̀ kó ṣamọ̀nà wa, sì wá rìn nípa ẹ̀mí rẹ̀, ká má ṣiṣẹ́ ní nǹkan lórúkọ Jésù lọ́wọ́. Àdúrà ti lù wá, bàbá wa tí ń bẹ ní ọ̀run, jábọ̀ orúkọ rẹ̀, kí ìjọba rẹ̀ dé, pẹ̀tẹ̀ yìí káfẹ́, ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ ìlọ́yẹ̀, fún àlejò ìgbà lórí, láàrin ẹ̀sẹ̀ ọ̀gbọ̀n, láti bá ìgbà ìpèsè, lọ́kà síbẹ̀, lálẹ́ ìgbésí, tó ìjọba, tó ń bọ̀. Méje fún Jésù. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Welcome everyone present yet once again to this wonderful episode of the 35th transition anniversary of our great legend, our great founder and father, Reverend Samuel Bílẹ̀, the son of Joseph Oshofa. A man of a giant stride spiritually. This is an episode to unravel the mysteries of his family life. Most people have overlooked, or they have underrated the family lifestyle of great men of the stature of SBG Oshofa. When you look at his spiritual state, do we think he could relate naturally? He had children, he had wives. Today we want to hear from the horse's mouth how he related from the spiritual into the natural. His relationship with his family. Although he said they are the wives are his senior sisters and the children are his juniors. That's why we tag these papas, seniors and juniors. Those are his lines. He says Celestians are his children. So we need to learn from our seniors and our aunts and uncles, let me say. Like the seniors and juniors of Oshofa, like you said, they become our aunts and uncles. We want to listen to them speak to us. The media team have gone out at least in every way to gather information from our aunts and uncles so that we would be able to learn and truly see this man, how he related from the natural to the spiritual and vice versa. On this note, I welcome everyone to this learning session. So this will make a period for most of us that somehow see ourselves spiritual, although we are not. Because when you say spiritual, it's not about gaming. It has more intonation beyond the gaming. So we want everyone here to learn and check so that in our journey in life we would have to correct the things to be corrected and we'll continue in the things that are true. I pray may God be with us in the journey of in our search for learning, and then may God bless us and enrich us greatly as we watch these videos. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Baba. Thank you so much. Like I said, once again, if you're just joining us on any of our social media handles, this is this continuation of one of the programs that we have lined up for this year's 5th transition anniversary of our father, Samuel Bilewu Joseph Oshofa. And this is day 5. And we're looking at videos and comments from Papa's seniors and juniors. If you join us on Wednesday, you will know that there's so much to look out for. And one thing that is outstanding is how distinct this man was, yet he was a total family man. And that is against every thing that you might have heard about him or anything that anyone might have put up on social media about who Papa was. He was all spiritual, he didn't care for his family. All of that you will see in this video, and you realize that no, that wasn't him. And in the course of the interview, one thing struck me where there was a line that came recurring, that Papa is a man. Even as a father, you would find no fault in him. I think one man that we found no fault in the Bible was Seth, I believe, when we were studying the Bible, in our Bible character clinic, and it gives us a need to begin to look at ourselves, like our father said, not to totally ignore our family just because we want to say that we are so called spiritual. We would learn a lot from Papa and from the comments and videos that we're about to watch. And without further ado, I'm going to ask the media team to please play the first video while we watch. Next video, please. Sister Luakemi, are you there, ma? Just checking if you're there. Okay. Good. Okay, so now we'll take the first video from the media team, and to quickly announce that if you will be going to Mecca with us for the service of songs and the remembrance proper, there will be a live show of all these videos. We will not be doing Zoom or anything. We'll be showing it on Zoom, so we won't have any technical difficulties. We'll be airing this videos live, all the videos, more like a documentary live at Timeko on the 18th, the 9th of the 18th of October. That's on Sunday. Yes. So, if you didn't have the opportunity to watch, online, you can come with us to Timeko and you would get a gist about who Papa Oshofa was as a father and as a husband. And I hope that at the end of this session, despite all the spiritual lectures I've been hearing, we would learn something that pertains to and life from this man. And I will wait for the media team. I'm just sort of signaling them to please play the first video so that we'll continue on this. Thank you all so much, and stay tuned. Thank you.
Okay. My name is Oluwatomilayo Oshofa Ojekide.
Okay. My name is Grace. I am Olayemi Rosemary Oshofa, one of the daughter of the dates from now CCC.
Okay. My name is Regina Oshofa Stolzenberg.
My name is Henry Oladimeji Oshofa. I was born in 1968. I think that makes me 52 years old now.
Okay.
I think I was 17 when my father died. So I had some chance to know him. I really did not spend as much time as I would really like to have spent with him. With the grace of God, I got to know him as good as I could. Because every minute spent with him was minutes to remember. He was such a wonderful man.
Okay. So in the 70s, I was in secondary school when my dad died. I was actually supposed to be in Form 4, then Form 4 when he died in 1985. it was a very peculiar day, peculiar time, because as at that time, we, the four princesses, who were close, we were close to him. We were planning a lot of things with him, and it was like there's nothing I can actually say about him that is about that time or about myself before that time that is not a fact that is known by practically most people. And now I'm married to Mr. Victor Jukide, and I have a daughter, and I live right now in the US, in New Jersey actually, and life has been good.
Okay. Thank you, Ma.
I am the daughter of Papa Oshofa. I'm married. I'm married with 2 children. I bless God for my life. I'm a very simple person. I don't do any complications. I live a straightforward life. Baba can attest to that.
Okay.
He knows me very well. I don't give him problem. I can be naughty at times.
Okay.
I don't give him problems.
Okay.
And the word of God, I've always been passionate. I've always had a passion for God right from the onset. Even growing up, before I had the in-depth knowledge about God, about having a one-on-one relationship with God, before I met Baba, because with Baba took me to us. So there's no way I'll talk about myself. I'll not flashback a little bit to Baba. So even before meeting him, I've always had this hunger for a relationship with God, which I think I tried to, when I was in my primary school, I think, or primary secondary, somebody came and was preaching to us in school then about us being born again. You know, we are, no, not we are all inside this mission with Papa. You know, when he's traveling, he takes us along. We know the church, we know Jesus, we know everything. But it's been just like fun growing up. We did not, don't let me speak for others. I did not really have that relationship with God. Church was just for me, church, a place where you must go. Service was service, where you must go to do service. At times, catch trips there. Yeah. So then, before meeting Baba, I started having this hunger for having a relationship with God. I think it started with when in church I was in the choir. I think I was around 11 or so. When I received the spirit of, should I call it prophecy? Something like that.
Okay.
So from there, then I started wanting to learn more. Basically, if you say I should introduce myself, who is Grace? Grace is passionate about God. Passionate about the word of God. Yes, and I want to.
I stay in Germany. Married to a German. My mother's name is Mrs. Margaret Moshibolato Oshofa.
I start remembering my dad when I was at, let's say, I start having memories of what he was or who he was. Let's say when I was in my 10, when I was like 10, 11 years. I remember that we used to travel. We've gone to West African countries, Ghana. We've gone to Ivory Coast. We've gone to lots of, we've gone to states in Nigeria. I know we went to Jos. We went to Benin. We went round. We used to go round with him for all of his ventures, all of his evangelical works. I remember him as someone that does not sleep. No, let me say doesn't sleep. Why I'm saying doesn't sleep, because early in the morning he leaves the other house and go to the house opposite, and he will be there till late in the night before coming over. I remember him as someone that is a disciplinarian in a way, and I also remember his love for his children. I remember his sayings. I remember that when there are times that when he talks, he will tell people, Ọlọ́run má jẹ́ ká jẹ́, Ọlọ́run má ṣe wá ní ẹni tó máa dọ́run kó tó mọ òótọ́. That is, God will not allow us to be someone that will get to heaven before he knows the truth. I also remember him always telling us that his only legacy that he had, the only legacy he has for us, is the education he's trying to give us. I also remember him trying to tell us that the church are his children, the church member are his children, that we are his family. We are his brothers, we are his sisters. I remember him, the songs I used for his wives, for owó ṣe owó, ẹ wá wo owó ṣe owó, owó la fi ń fàyà owó, some things like that. And as a father, I remember when I was in Form 1, the striking story about that was when I was in Form 1 and they asked us for developmental fee or something, and they asked us to give envelope to our daddy, and he put money in the envelope, and the money he placed in the envelope, I took part of it out anyway. I took part of it, and I took, like, I think it's 50 naira or 50 school. When I got to the school, the money he gave me put in the envelope, but the one that I left in the envelope was such a big amount in the school that they had to announce me. And
I was about 9 years old when my father died. He was a very busy man when he was alive. So we had, should I say, a glimpse of him at intervals. I know my father to be a very jovial man. I knew him to be a jovial man. Every encounter you have with him, and I know that he was very, even when he was praying for us then, he prayed in a jovial manner. Because then we were staying on the second and the last floor. He occupied all the rooms on the third floor. So every morning, early in the morning, you have to go to his apartment to get money for school. So, it's fun like that. All of us, like, imagine a scene where your family, you have all the friends you need in your family. All your friends sleep with you every day. All of you go to the same school, you wear the same uniform. So that bond is there. Then there is this hustling when you all run, when you want to go upstairs to collect the money. And when you enter I think his sitting room is very, very, very large. And when you just enter, all of us start scrambling for money because he's always hiding money at funny stuff. So as you enter inside, everybody starts raising up the rug, the sofa, everything like that. I knew him. Yes, he was very, very jovial, but he did not play with education. He did not want to hear anything like, I don't want to go to school. I think because he did not have formal education. Yes, so maybe he wanted us to be outstanding in school. Because then I know that my elder brothers, like our firstborn, then I think there is a joke that I grew up hearing that when he went to meet Papa that Papa, I want to buy a car. Papa said, car. You'll be driving a car. No, I want you to buy a plane. And I said, I told Papa that if I buy plane, then I will be driving the plane. What's the difference? And I said, no, when you buy a plane, we employ a pilot that will pilot it for you. That doesn't want you to, doesn't want. I think he had a vision of a very bright and big future for his children. So he was trying to push us in that direction to achieve good education. So, and growing up, I grew up hearing, even if I didn't hear it from his mouth, hearing my siblings and everybody telling us that is the legacy that Papa is giving his children, that he wants us to be educated. That even if the church does not give feeding money, you know, he said something about the inheritance, about not dividing it. The main thing he wanted was, he believed that if you're educated, you will have power to get your own weight. So that was his number one ideal for the children, to be self-reliant, be educated, and make your own destinies. When you go to him, I think he knows all of us, but when you now go to him, you now say, hey, Omotaniwo. When you now just tell him, or before you start telling him, you start laughing. You see, we call one wife. Are you sure more? You know, some killing condition we make on the way. Now then I say, okay. Then when you now say, okay, like, you know, our moms, they want you to collect every money from him, even money from pencil. We go to him to collect ridiculous money. He say, "Logo kerosene, logo shanowa, logo all those things." So you go there, and it's not as if because he buy all those things in bulk. I don't know if it's per week, so we all go there. Then we apportion everybody's own. I remember that time that he was at the other side. That place does the miracles. That other side. I remember that I was told to go and collect money for kerosene from him. So I think he was doing deliverance for somebody. He was praying for somebody there. So I was about to enter. I just heard him say, "Jade!" As in the power that he used to say that Jade. I just ran and ran back to my mom. My mom said, he was not talking to you. Go back. So I had to go back to that place. As in, I was like, I've never seen him in this. As in, I saw another side of him then. I've not seen him in that. He was always playing with us. I've not seen him in that state before. So by the time I went back, I met him. As in, and no matter how busy he is, he will attend to you. As in, the crowd can line here and line here. So it makes you feel like it's faster than when you just, walk in and then I want to see Papa. You walk in and go to that seat and go and talk to him, and he will still play with you, even in front of everybody. Like when you get there, we tell you, okay, hello, 200. I'm just saying 200. Though. Okay, in this 200, I feel calling. I feel Ramoto. I think then maybe he realized that he wouldn't have that much time with us. So he kept on sowing prayers into our lives.
On the children. He loves education, and as busy as he is, he has time for all of us. He doesn't like our mom is beating us. He loves us to be together. Most times he tells us that he doesn't want division in the family. That we should not mention that somebody is my mommy, somebody is not my mom, that everybody belongs to one mother. That is why you have love between the family, because that is very important. And he believes so much in education. Because when I was in primary 6, I did this common entrance exam to Federal College Government College. Jos. My sister Jos, my own Yola. My dad said, no, he won't allow me to leave Lagos. That he wants to be seeing me. That I'm a difficult child. That I was very gentle then, but I don't know what is on in me. So he allowed Deborah to go to Federal Government Girls College last time, but he did not allow me to go. So then we had issue that which school am I going to go? So he had to call woman, Baba Okunlola, one of the church workers. The man was a former military personnel. So the man took me to Command Secondary School, Keja, that one at Maryland. So when we got there that day, the commandant was a member of the church. Colonel Olalenge. That was about 1983. So the day we got to the school, the man went to meet the commandant with me, and the man told the commandant, I'm one of the children of Papa Oshibada. Papa said he want me to come to study in that school in Lagos. Like, he doesn't want me to leave Lagos. So the man said everything is done. I mean, Papa child. They gave us form. He gave me uniform free, textbook, and started school the next day. Because Papa really loves education and he wants all of us to be educated.
I know him to be a very jovial, a very family man who loves his children, his wives. I think if I say he's the best dad in the whole world, everyone will say, yeah, their father as well. Everyone says their father is the best father in the whole world. But I can only talk about my own father, the one I knew, the one I grew to know personally. He was always there. He was always there. His priority for us as children is for us to learn, to go to school, to learn, to be someone, to be independent. He didn't want us to go through I don't think he is someone that has gone through some things in life, particularly about education, because he was semi-literate, as he was half learned. It's not like he didn't go to school. He went to school, but yeah, not up to university or all the stages. So there were some cases where he was a bit disadvantaged because of this, and he never wants us as children to go through some things in life that he went through. So his priority for us is mostly that we should go to school and be someone and be independent from Celestial Church of Christ, and independent from the church. That we should be able to be someone on our own. As another, we shouldn't partake in the church, but we should be independent. And so we should be educated, learned, and independent to be able to cater for ourselves, to be able to cater for our parents. Yeah. And I could remember when I was still very young. I think we were four eldest children staying with him then. Umilayo and I. Deborah not so much, because Deborah was always in Lantang in the federal government high school. And what I could vividly remember so well is when we misbehave, how he reacts. You know, he will tell you things like "Eloba mi mugba wawa," and then you go out and you look for things like slippers for yourself because you don't want to be hot, and then you bring this rubber, this rubber slippers, and then he will take it and hit you 2-3 times and say, "Don't do that again, okay?" And you say, "Okay," and then you leave. That's the kind of, as he's a disciplinarian, but he doesn't really believe in beating and shouting, and he does his things. He talks to us more. No? He talks to us more. He carries us along his ways. He gives us all what he was always there, and we were always with him. Also, Yemi, Fumi, and I, we were, especially Yemi and I, we were always with him, always around him. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Papa was a very friendly, jovial person who had an ear for everybody, especially for his children. I wouldn't say he had and Papa always said that the church members are his children, and we, his blood and flesh, are his brothers. So if there is a very urgent matter that should be fixed that is pertaining to the church, he will rather attend to that first before he comes to attend to you as his child, and Papa was always, I think what Papa always wanted for us was to love each other and to respect each other. It was very important for Papa to be respected. No, for him it was not. For Papa, it's very important that people show respect to each other. Papa always said there's no religion, there's no way you worship to God that God will not see that you're worshiping him. So, and that's another way of bringing everybody together, and no matter what kind of denomination you are in, if you are a Muslim, if you are a Christian, no matter what, just have an open heart and love. He doesn't have a special place if he has an audience of 1,000 people and he's hungry, he'll be eating in the presence of everybody. He will not go back and say he wants to sit down somewhere to eat. It was very free. It was a man to admire.
Not well. If he didn't make it obvious. If he did, though, because then you need to see the love that was between the children then, as in growing up. Because growing up then, while he was still alive, I could barely say this is my mom or that is our mom. It's just like we are all born in the same. I don't know how to explain it. There was this unity. I'm sure if he had a favorite, there would have been jealousy among us, because there was this sense of belonging. The way all of us grew up, it didn't mean if you hear details, I've not heard anything like that growing up. I had a favorite. No, for me, no, it didn't.
I remember that anytime they talk about anything concerning school or his children, he's always interested in it. He always wants us to go for it. And I also remember when my elder brother wanted to finish his secondary school and went to meet him, and he said, "What do you want to be?" And my brother said, "I want to be a pilot." He said, "Wow, I don't want to be in a plane. and I can't allow my children to drive other people. So what do you do? So I also remember him. I don't know. I have so many memories of him. I remembered when he talked to us, call us together, talk to us, telling us to gather together and be like a broom, be united. I have so many memories of him, and all those memories, they have how lovely he was to us, how he was real. He was real. He was busy, but he still had time for us. I know his favorite food that everybody has been talking about, the beans that we always wait for when he's eating, the way he makes it, especially with the oil, mix it with curry and stuff like that. It was nice growing up knowing him as the father. And I remember when that is my son, that we want food. And you know what he does? He gives us the food together. He'll give us yam, a crate of egg, and some money when we ask him. Then all of us will now come together, we'll go and cook it, gather around it and make food for ourselves. Apart from the money he gives to the parents, we still go to meet him and he still gives us. So it was like being taken care of properly, and he asks you questions, talks to you. He gave us opportunity to be with him when anything is happening. But there are some crucial meetings that will not allow us to be when they will not allow you to come. But that we saw, that was like, it's normal. It's not something that is done in secret. It's something that is done and it's open for everybody. It's like a potential for everybody to see, that you can actually come into and you can actually see, and it's not as if, and it's something that stays in your memory, that still come up. I know it's been gone for like 35 years, but I could still remember it. I could still remember what he talks about and who he was. So it was nice being his daughter.
So in the morning, before you go to school, that was in secondary school. In primary school, we were in the Bodias. He made sure you went to the best primary school. That was Martin Nursery and Primary School. We were there in the Bodias from nursery 1 to primary 5. So when we were entering primary 6, we became the students, I and Deborah. Regina and Fulai, everyone, he put us in a very good school. Regina and Fulai went to Equest School, one expensive school in the neighborhood there, the most expensive school in the neighborhood there. That was the school we were going. We used to go and collect money. Every morning you see him before you go to school. Then when we have break, when we are on holiday, he will ask us to write what we need. It does not relate to the mothers, it relates to the children. Anything you want, you go and meet him. So you write your list. Sometimes you can write list. You can write, he's not really educated. So you can write, if you want to buy dictionary, you can write dictionary, things like those things. Papa will not say, he will give you anything you ask for, anything pertaining to education. Then he used to give us money for our own everything. We are ladies. Give us money for our own everything. He was always there for everybody. For us, we are the eldest then. So we used to be with him most of the time. There was one occasion, he lives in this other building. He lives here, but he has sent to visit us in the other building. So one night, maybe around it, where I was in maybe class 1. Papa died when I was going to Form 2. So maybe I was in class 1 then. So anytime he's going to the other building, he will ask all the children with the eldest one. So that day he asked the megad, we have about 10-20 megad that stay outside. So he asked the megad, is all the children inside? You might just say no, it's Maurice Yemi Oshofa, me, Yemi and Regina. So Papa came down the street. He was just shouting, Yemi, Regina. First Pedi was running at his back. Papa was in the front. They were looking for us. That international church was not yet built. Everywhere was bushy that time. So when we saw Papa, me and Regina, I was afraid. I could not run. Regina jumped the fence and ran into the bush. But Papa was near. So first Pedi caught me. I don't know. It's one of Papa's brother. So he took me. Papa also went upstairs. Papa said, as from today, he's not going. I was in Form 1. He's not going to. We were talking with some guys, you know those things. So those guys too ran. So they picked their slippers. Papa said, as from today, you not send. So Regina ran away. She didn't come. That time Papa was angry. So Papa took me upstairs with SPD. Said they should tie my hand. He was very strict. They tied my hand and my legs. Started beating me with pain. I'm not going to send you to school again. I'm not going to send you to school again. So he said the other people should start looking for Regina. But that night, Papa was disturbed. After beating me, I went to my mommy's room. Papa was disturbed. He couldn't stay because Regina was not around. See, about 3 a.m. He does not know Regina of snake inside. So he said, we are not going back. We are not going to school again. Me and Regina. So for like 2 weeks, we were at home. Our mothers were begging me. Later, we sorted it out and went back to school. And many times, when he's eating, you ask him to come and join you. We eat together. Most times, beans with red oil, moyo, this is good food. They like this egun soup, oja, fried stew. They make it with red pepper. They grind it and it's going to be very dry. That is oja. Papa likes it too. They eat fresh fish with no scale.
Tilapia.
Tilapia. Very big fish. Very big fishes. People buy it for them. I did not grow up being sick or anybody being sick. But I remember a time that Solomon was beaten by one of his older younger sisters, something like that. Papa was so angry. Papa doesn't like anybody touching his children because he doesn't like anybody touch his children. He's strict, but he doesn't like anyone beating us.
Okay.
With him directly. Wake him up in the morning before we go to school. You know, we were the eldest children staying with him directly. And mostly when we want to go to school Monday to Fridays, we go upstairs. We stay in the middle, first floor, and it stays on the second floor. And in the mornings, when we wake up in the morning, what we normally do is we take our shower, we get ready for school, and we go up to wake him. His parlor is always open. Anyone can go to this house apart from us, his family. We all stay together, the wives, the children at Kitu. So in the morning, especially Yemi and I, we go up to wake him up. But before we wake him up, because you go into the parlor and then you get into a room and then into a room, right? You get into the parlor, then in the first room is like a small parlor, and then the second room inside that is where he sleeps. So in the parlor, he receives people. Is right? Is my English right? He He receives
Yes.
people
So yes, ma.
in
Yes,
the
ma.
parlor.
Yes, ma.
And so he receives people in the parlor, and the people come around. Some people come around with envelopes and with money in it, and he doesn't know what to do with this money. So when they give him this money, when they give him the envelopes and the money inside it, he says, "Thank you very much," and he put it under his tana, just sit on it, or he put it under the chair, to do this, all these things people are giving him. So when he goes to when we go in the morning to wake him up, what we do is we search all these places, tell him, yeah, we were very naughty. We were very, very naughty. We were very naughty. And then we go to him and we tell him, yeah, we want to get because he give us every morning, he give us money to take to school, to be able to buy things, to be able to eat, so that we won't lack, So he then gives us this, then he comes out and says, good morning, and he prays for us and all these things. Then he gives us money again. So, we stole money already. So with that money we stole, and with that extra one we have, we take them and go to school to eat with it. So some of the personal things, like I said, we were naughty. We were really naughty, So, and we played on the fact that he doesn't know so much about the English part of everything. So, like when we want to start a new term, we go to him and say, Papa, and he say, yes. So we need books. Now tell me, what are the books you need? We need we have chemistry. So we say, we need a book. It's called Chem. We need another book. It's called Me. And we need another book. It's called Street. Oh, really? You need also, we break this books like biology, we break it into two. Like mathematics, we break it in. So more money for those books. So there was a time he came behind. He came behind it. And he said, "You know what? Tell your teachers to send me always a list." I'm sorry, my German will always come in. So he said things like, tell your teacher in the school to bring us a list, then we will know what to buy. So he caught us. We couldn't lie anymore. Another personal experience I have with him was,
I'm very sure Papa did not love one child more than the other. It's just like every other father. To know who Papa loved most, you have to ask him. I'm very sure he loved all of us the same.
Equally.
But they paid attention to me, I'm very sure. I think he must have paid attention to other children just like that. But I was a little persistent. When I want something, there was Baba Abiasi was a kind of a rival. When I want to sit in his car, Papa will say, "No, let my son sit down there." Baba Abiasi was his favorite because they were very, very close friends.
Okay.
If you ask me, I think Papa liked Brother Ebenezer very much. Papa gave him special attention. Papa, as Papa was alive, Papa gave him an apartment in the house opposite. Papa gave him a car and things like that. Or Papa gave him the parish too. And I think Papa tried to make him, to push him up in the church. That's
Okay.
my feeling.
Orúkọ mi ni Bọ́lá Celestia Kẹ́hìndé Ọ̀ṣọ́fà.
Orúkọ mi ni Margaret Abọ́sẹ̀dé.
Àǹtí Ọ̀ṣọ́fà. Mo wá láti ìlú Ògùn State àti Abẹ́òkúta Òwu àti Tòtòrò. Wọ́n mi wá ìmọ̀ ó ti wá.
Mo ṣe Bọ́lá tán. Ọmọ Reverend Pastor Àdìsá Daniel Àdìsá Ọládùnjoyè nìbàdàn.
Wọ́n bí mi ní 10/10/1961. Mo lè jẹ́ ọmọ bíbí Abẹ́òkúta Ògùn State Òwu. So bàbá mi Tòtòrò ní Òwu. Màmá Ìmọ̀. Bàbá Samuel Báyìí. Màmá Eunice Báyìí. African Church. A máa ń lọ bàbá àti màmá mi gbà. Wọ́n mi wà wọ́n strong àti wọ́n sick àti dẹ́sẹ̀ ní Òṣogbo nígbà náà. Ní Òṣogbo so àti dẹ́sẹ̀ ni. Bàbá máa ń wá sí ìlú wa. Wọ́n máa ń wá gbàdúrà fún yàn. Wọ́n máa ń wá ṣe ìsọjí ńbẹ̀. Ìyá mi ó wà lórí mi. Ìjọ mímọ́ bí àwa sí. Àwa méjì mú bí sí ìjọ mímọ́. Ni bàbá wa. Ìyá mi lọ sí ìsọjí yẹn. Bàbá gbàdúrà. Wọ́n fọ ọkàn ìkùn àwọn gbogbo àwọn aláboyún tó wà ń bẹ̀. Ó ní aláboyún tó bá bímọ tó bá jẹ́ obìnrin tó jẹ́ ní bàbá. Àwọn tó bá jẹ́ ọkùnrin kò ń fún ìlú yẹn. Ẹ̀mí dẹ̀ lóòótọ́ àti ó di orúkọ ọmọ ọmọ òun. Àwọn bẹ̀ lọ sí ọ́fíìsì ìbí ìlú òfin. Òpópẹ́ wà bíi 1970s bàbá Ìfákọ̀ọ́dà ó fẹ́ ṣe church mẹ́ta pé ti gbogbo ọdẹ òun àti Ifẹ̀. So bàbá Ọ̀ṣọ́fà wá àwọn adóde wọn ní ìpètùmọ̀ pẹ̀lú mọ́mì wa on ní stroke. So àtàwọn sí pàpà wá dé wá ṣàṣìṣẹ́ fún wọn ẹsẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ fún fẹ́ rẹ̀. So wọ́n á ní ká máa bọ̀ wá sífẹ̀ wọ́n á pàdé pàpà nífẹ̀ bàbá dé Ifẹ̀. So pàpà wá tún gbàdúrà pàpà iṣẹ́ ìkò ló parí pé ká máa bọ̀ wá sí Kétu làwọn wá dé Kétu.
Ṣe lè sọ ìrìn àjò bẹ́ẹ̀ ti di sọ fún wa pé kan náà àwọn ìyàwó bàbá nìyí o a kò gbọ́ nínú orúkọ yìí ni o ẹ sọ yẹn fún wa.
Bàbá Ọ̀ṣọ́fà ní second to last wife.
Ṣe lè sọ ìrìn àjò bí ẹ ṣe di ìyàwó bàbá fún wa.
Mo meet bàbá nìbàdàn nígbà tí ìjọ wá sí Ìbàdàn. Wọ́n dẹ̀ propose láti fẹ́ mi. Bàdà dẹ̀ follow ẹ̀ up.
Ìyá mi lè wá pín tàn pé láti kékeré mi àti lẹ́yìn ìgbà tí mo fẹ́ bàbá ìlú rẹ̀ tàn mí. Ní tí mo máa ń sọ ṣe bí àwọn ọmọdé máa ń ṣeré tí mo máa ń sọ̀rọ̀ mo máa ń ní èmi ẹni tí màá fẹ́ tó bá gbàdúrà fún òkú ajíǹde káṣọ ẹ̀ bá pa aláìsàn á dìde. Ó ní nǹkan tí mo máa ń sọ títí mo fi dàgbà. Àti mo ti dàgbà tí ìrìn àjò àbúrò ìyá mi wọ́n máa ń rìn sí Èkó pẹ̀lú pàpà. Wọ́n wá mọ̀ wọ́n máa tẹ̀lé wọn wá sí ibi báyìí. Máa tẹ̀lé wọn wá. Wọ́n wá gbé báyìí tiẹ̀ ọ̀dọ̀ ìyá mi tó àjọ. Ilé bàbá kan wà ní lọ́gbọ̀n lọ́hùn. Lọ́gbọ̀n yẹn ni mo lọ láti. Àwọn èèyàn máa ń fọ́ lójú bàbá. Èmi máa ń fi lẹ́sìn máa ń tà. Ilé ń lọ bá fún bàbá. Tó fi kọ ọmọ ọ̀fẹ́ sí mi. Bàbá mi lẹ́wọ̀n dé. Ilé tó bàbá wọn ní ìṣòro wọn gbé mi lábá owó lórí ìgbé ẹni tí mo gbé fún ẹ fẹ́ nítorí ẹ máa ń ní ọ̀dà àgbàgbé sọ̀rọ̀ ọmọ ní kó yájú ọ̀dà.
Papa èèyàn tó nífẹ̀ẹ́ èèyàn ni. Tí ọ̀rọ̀ èèyàn ò dẹ̀ kí sú, tí kò dẹ̀ kí bínú, kò kí ń le títí kí papa sọ pé ọ̀rọ̀ yìí sú mi. Wọ́n máa ń rárá gba gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀. Wọ́n dẹ̀ máa ń rí àyà fi advice èèyàn. Tó bá wà lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ papa dà mẹ́wàá lọ́dọ̀ ẹ̀. Torí gbogbo nǹkan tó bá fi lé lọ́wọ́ ló máa take care ẹ̀ pátápátá. Papa ò fẹ́ràn kéèyàn máa sunkún. Wọn ò fẹ́ràn kéèyàn máa banújẹ́. Torí bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ṣe máa ń múra láti sọ gbogbo ẹjọ́ téèyàn bá kó lọ bá wọn kán sọ dẹ̀rín. Papa fẹ́ràn èèyàn gidigidi, a dá wọn bẹ́ẹ̀ ni láti fẹ́ràn èèyàn.
ọ̀rọ̀ tó ibi ẹjọ́ ẹ̀jẹ̀ bá ti sọ àkàndá yẹn bàbá yá àkàndá ènìyàn jẹ́ pé oníwà pẹ̀lẹ́ bí àdàbà then tẹ́ bá tún àwọn tó wà ní báyìí yẹn bàbá tún ó jẹ́ lára àwọn àyè bí Elijah.
Bàbá ó ṣiṣẹ́ yáyà púpọ̀. Ọkọ tí èmi á mọ̀ nípa bàbá mi pé àkàndá ènìyàn. Àkàndá ènìyàn.
Papa èèyàn tó nífẹ̀ẹ́ èèyàn ni. Tí ọ̀rọ̀ èèyàn ò dẹ̀ kí sú, tí kò dẹ̀ kí bínú, kò kí ń le títí kí papa sọ pé ọ̀rọ̀ yìí sú mi. Wọ́n máa ń rárá gba gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀. Wọ́n dẹ̀ máa ń rí àyà fi advice èèyàn. Tó bá wà lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ papa dàbí èèyàn mẹ́wàá lọ́dọ̀ ẹ̀. Torí gbogbo nǹkan tó bá fi lé lọ́wọ́ ló máa take care ẹ̀ pátápátá. Papa ò fẹ́ràn kéèyàn máa sunkún. Wọn ò fẹ́ràn kéèyàn máa banújẹ́. Torí bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ṣe máa ń múra láti sọ gbogbo ẹjọ́ téèyàn bá kó lọ bá wọn kán sọ dẹ̀rín. Papa fẹ́ràn èèyàn gidigidi, a dá wọn bẹ́ẹ̀ ni láti fẹ́ràn èèyàn.
Táwọn ìrìn àjò bàbá pàápàá sọ ènìyàn tó yàtọ̀ mú ènìyàn tó pé ènìyàn mímọ́ ní bàbá yẹn. Ẹni ẹ̀mí tó gbogbo nǹkan tó bá fẹ́ ṣe báyìí nínú ẹ̀mí ló ṣe é ṣe.
Wọ́n láìkan máa gbọ́ news. Wọ́n máa ń fẹ́ mọ nǹkan tó ń lọ. Wọ́n dẹ̀ láìkan máa jáde láti lọ bẹ orí ìjọ wò. Tí ìdílé kan bá wà tó yẹ kí wọ́n lọ missions, wọ́n á jáde wọ́n á lọ. He's a very loving man. Wọ́n ní time fún yàn. Wọn kì í ṣe ẹni téèyàn máa sọ̀rọ̀ fún tó máa. Àti ìran rírí wọn. Torí papa fúnra rẹ̀ wòlíì ni. Ó dẹ̀ máa ń lọ nú ẹ̀mí lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìgbà. Àwọn ẹnìkan sọ pé papa ò ríran. Wòlíì gidi, wòlíì àgbà ni papa. Tó yẹ pé tó o bá jáde lọ tó o bá padà dé, papa sọ gbogbo nǹkan tó ṣe níbi tó lọ tó ti dé yẹn. Papa máa ń ríran gan, wọ́n dẹ̀ máa ń lọ nú ẹ̀mí. Púpọ̀ jù lóru tí wọ́n bá sùn. Tí wọ́n bá jí láàárọ̀ tán bá sọ gbogbo ìran tí wọ́n rí, máa ń ṣe gbogbo èèyàn ni.
Táwọn èèyàn mi bá wá báyìí ìdílé tí máa fi ń gbé wọn kò fojú pa àná rẹ kò fojú pa ẹbí ìyàwó pé ọdẹ táyé mi tó kẹ́hìndé lè mi táyé mi tó bá dé báyìí àwọn tó fún mi láyà nìyẹn ẹ̀rọ káàbọ̀ ẹ̀rọ àṣà o.
Ó fẹ́ràn ìjọ ju ọmọ tó bí pọ̀ nínú lọ àgàgà olùṣọ́ àbùkù bàbá àbùkù ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀. àgàgà èèyàn tó gbọ́dọ̀ ẹ̀ kò kí n fi wọ́n ṣeré. Bàbá tó fẹ́ràn ọmọ ìjọ rẹ̀ nítorí bàbá kan wọ́n dì sókùn wá sí bíbá bàbá rẹ̀ yọjú ló bá gbọ́ ni tẹ̀dì mi sókùn kí ni mo ṣe fún tẹ̀dì mi sókùn àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ wà láwọn bàbá àdì sókùn èmi ẹ̀dì sókùn ẹ̀tù bíyà ló kí n fi àwọn òṣò mi ṣe ẹ̀tù ọdún orí ìgbàgbà bàbá ò fi fi ọmọ ìjọ ìṣeré bẹ́ẹ̀ ni bàbá rẹ̀ fi fi ìyàwó ìṣeré bẹ́ẹ̀ ni bàbá rẹ̀ fi fi ọmọ ìṣeré fún ọmọ ìjọ.
Papa ò kì í ṣe olùṣọ́ àgùntàn tó máa ń sọ pé nǹkan tí mo bá sọ ni kẹ́ ẹ ṣe kẹ́ ẹ má wo ìṣe mi nǹkan tí mo bá ń ṣe òun ni kẹ́ ẹ máa ṣe ni papa kọ́ wa. Papa ò dẹ̀ ṣe farawé in that inbuilt ní gbogbo ìwà ẹ̀ tó ń hù. Mo ń bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́jọ́ kan tí mo ní ọlọ́run àánú papa bínú wọ́n ní má sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ mọ́ ọlọ́run ọ̀ṣọ́fà kì í ṣe ọlọ́run àánú bí kò ṣe ọlọ́run olùbùkún ọlọ́run aláàánú tó ń ṣàánú fáwọn èèyàn ni ṣùgbọ́n ẹ má pè ní ọlọ́run àánú olóore ọ̀fẹ́ sì ni tẹ́ ẹ bá sìn pẹ̀lú inú kan àti ọkàn kan ẹ ráàánú gbà.
ìjọ kan mo á fẹ́ ra fídàn wá ní àwọn àti ẹ̀gbọ́n ṣe mọ̀ pé èèyàn kan èèyàn ṣe kó oṣù lọ́sẹ̀ ìgbà wa dúró òmò bá ní papa sílẹ̀ fún pé ní bàmí lẹ́wọ̀ papa ṣe wọ́n bá ní pé má ṣe dání oníṣòwò wọ́n ti fi hàn mí kó òmò wọ́n á báwo ṣe mọ̀ pé mi mọ̀ olùgbò ẹsẹ̀ tí ń gbó òun ẹsẹ̀ yẹn ń gbó òun arábẹ̀ má bẹ̀rẹ̀ ẹsẹ̀ ń gbó pé òmò tó wá dọ́dọ̀ orí bàbá ògbólógbò sórí àtàyẹ
gbogbo obìnrin tí bàbá ń fẹ́ inú ẹ̀mí ni bàbá fi ń fẹ́ yìí ní gbogbo wa sábà mi báyìí ẹni tí ò lẹ́mìí kúkúrú wà láàrin wa nínú òrè ọ̀fẹ́ ẹ̀mí wa ó máa wù alẹ́ mi kúkú díẹ̀ bàbá mi ń ṣe pé ó láìkì obìnrin púpọ̀.
àbọ̀ ògbláyé bàbá ẹ̀mí ọlọ́run ló máa ń yàn fún ẹ̀mí ọlọ́run ìgbà tí mo sì tí ètò ìjọba tí bàbá fẹ́ mi èèyàn obìnrin kan wá ó sọ pé ẹ̀mí ọlọ́run pé kò fẹ́ bàbá wọn bó tó lè báyìí ó ní àòfin fún mi bàbá ní àòfin fún mi kó máa lọ pé bàbá gbàgbà àbúrò tó kó mi lọ́kọ̀ ẹ̀mí ọlọ́run ló máa ń yàn fún bàbá àìmọye tó wà àìmọye tó wọ́n bàbá but a sọ fún wọn pé ẹ̀mí ló yàn fóun pé ẹ̀mí ni sẹ́yìn yorùbá yàn fóun òun ò ní débẹ̀ rárá pé ẹ̀mí ló máa ń yàn fóun ẹ̀mí ọlọ́run ló máa ń yàn fún bàbá ìyàwó dẹ̀ tó fi hàn ní ìsìn ẹ̀rọ wọn ìgbà tó ti lọ ní ìsìn òbí lè ṣe wà ẹgbẹ́ ṣe wà tàbí àwọn tó sáré wá ni ilé àlùbà báyìí.
alájà kan wà ní àgbègbè òun ló máa ń talẹ̀ fún bàbá lọ ṣe mítìnì kan nílẹ̀ àánú alájà yẹn àárọ̀ ló dẹ̀ máa wá àárọ̀ kùtùkùtù ló máa wá ó wá ń bọ̀ bàbá ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wọlé báyìí ni alájà yẹn ti gbọ́ mi pẹ̀lú ìkejì mi torí òun lè mí tẹ̀lé yàjọ́ mi tẹ̀lé ni mo mọ àfọ̀dípẹ́ ìyá ìyàwó àwọn sọ̀rọ̀ àbẹ́ ní àmà sọ̀rọ̀ bàbá ti sùn. ìyá kan bu òkè àdó bu òkè báyìí já ní màmá bàbá ti pẹ́ bàbá ìdíjì bàbá kan wà yàrá ẹbí ọ̀sùn o mọ́ bí ọ̀sùn ìyá yẹn èébú tí kò sí láyé yìí ló fi bú wa tán bí a ṣe jẹ́ aláwọ̀ kò tó bí bàbá ṣe kó wọn wá tí a wá kò sí èébú yẹn tí kò bú wa tán a ní kì í ṣe ẹjọ́ ìyá ẹlẹ́gbó gbogbo èébú tó wù yí ẹbú bàbá wà ní ẹ̀rọ kẹrin bàbá pàdé bàbá sọ ti ẹ̀fẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ tó lọ a ní bàbá ní ẹsẹ̀ ìṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ fún wa àwọn agbẹ̀yìn pamọ́ fún ìyá yẹn ẹ̀ náà gbé mi pamọ́ iṣẹ́ tí mo gbà lágbára kí má gbé mi pamọ́ tó dé ni mo bóyá rè jẹ́ pé gbogbo ń gbé wọlé sí ẹ wá gbé mi pamọ́ tí gbogbo wá ṣe é ṣe kọ́ abúlé ẹ̀jẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ yìí ẹ wọ́n máa gbé mi pamọ́ ó ní jẹ́ kí mo gbà lápá rẹ̀. wọ́n ní gbogbo ẹ̀bùn tí ìyá ẹ̀ wá bú wa ń bọ́ wọ́n ní ẹgbà pé bàbá ló kì í ṣe ẹ̀.
bàbá láìka ọmọ ẹ̀ o kì í fún àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ ṣeré. If I come to this life again, I will.
Oṣù July ní Makoko ni wọ́n ti rí Maria. Gbogbo nǹkan tí Maria dẹ̀ sọ fún wọn gbogbo ẹ̀ la kọ sílẹ̀ tó wà nínú ìwé ìtàn Celestia. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìgbà náà ti lọ nínú ẹ̀mí tán ti fún wa lórin. Nígbà tá a wà ní Port Harcourt tí wọ́n lọ nínú ẹ̀mí ni wọ́n fún wa ní orin mẹ́ta kan. Ó Kristo bá mi, èmi yóò sìn ọ́. Agbára àti ìmọ́lẹ̀ mi, ẹni mímọ́, mímọ́ jùlọ. Bí kan sọ̀rọ̀ kó ṣẹ, bí kan gbọ́wọ́ láláìsàn kó rí ìwòsàn lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ni mo ti fojú rí.
wọ́n gbé orú ẹ̀ wá ikùn ẹ̀ ó dàbí iyọ̀ tó fẹ́ bímọ lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀. bàbá wa gbé wá bá bàbá olóyún lélẹ́yìí ká fẹ́ lóyún. wọ́n ní bàbá olúmọ tí ìròyìn àwọn níbẹ̀ o ó dẹ̀ wí bá ó lè bí lórí sọ̀rọ̀ ló ṣe mí rẹ̀. bàbá ní ó dà yàtọ̀ mi tẹ́jú mọ́ mi ó dẹ̀ tọ́jú mọ́ bàbá tó dà jù bàbá ó dẹ̀ wọ bàbá títí ikùn ni ó lọ lẹ̀ pátápátá bí ikùn ó ti wà pẹ́lẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ikùn yẹn ti wà.
Ní Makoko wọ́n gbé wèrè kan wá bá wa tó ń jẹ́ Musili, ọmọ Muslim ni. Lọ́jọ́ tí papa gbọ́wọ́ lé lórí tán gbàdúrà fún tó máa sàn, ọjọ́ yẹn ló fún wa ní òun náà tún fún wa lórin mẹ́ta. Obìnrin kan wà ní Agége 1 tó máa ń ṣẹ̀sìn àwọn ojú Olúwa lójoojúmọ́. Ọjọ́ tí papa bá pàdé ni papa sọ fún pé ní orúkọ ẹni tó rán àwọn níṣẹ́ ó máa lóyún ó máa bímọ ẹyọ kan yẹn àwọn tọrọ fún ni gẹ́gẹ́ bí oore ọ̀fẹ́. Ọmọ náà kan fún lórúkọ àwọn, kò sì gbọdọ̀ kúrò nínú akọrin. Obìnrin yẹn sì wà nínú ìjọ, ọmọ ẹ̀ náà dẹ̀ wà ń bọ̀. Nǹkan púpọ̀ láti rí. Ọmọ kan gbé lọ́dọ̀ mi tán porúkọ ẹ̀ ní Victoria, òkú ẹ̀ ní bàbá ẹ̀ gbé wá, ó lóun fẹ́ lọ jùnú lẹ́nìkan wá fún un ládírẹ́sì ilé papa tóun fi gbé wá, tí papa dẹ̀ gbàdúrà fún, tí Ọlọ́run dẹ̀ fún wọn ní oore ọ̀fẹ́. Ọmọ yẹn ó wá lọ́kọ, ọ̀dọ̀ mi ló gbé, ó lọ́kọ àkọ́kọ́ ó tún fi wọ́n sílẹ̀ nígbà tí ọkọ yẹn kú kúrò ńbẹ̀, ó tún fẹ́ mi. Ó dẹ̀ máa ń sọ fún mi pé màámi tí ìyà bá jẹ mí màá kú o, mo máa ń sọ fún pé ò ní kú lórúkọ Jésù. Lẹ́yìn ọmọ bíi 7 tó bí ṣá, ó ti kú at last. Victoria lórúkọ ẹ̀ ń jẹ́. Gbogbo èèyàn ló mọ̀, òun fúnra rẹ̀ máa ń sọ̀tàn rẹ̀.
Ìgbà tí papa tí ọkọ òun ó ní ìbọn kó oúnjẹ wá bí àwọn gálà bíi gẹ́sà yẹn àwọn kan bí báyìí ó ní ọkọ kíni ẹ wá gbà yẹn ó ní ọkọ kíni ọ̀pọ̀ ti warehouse oṣù kìíní oṣù kẹ ó bá ku nẹ́ẹ̀sì àdìgínì máa ìspáyà àti báyà November ṣàlùmọ̀ ìgbà làwọn ìgbà ní àwọn onídìí ẹ̀mọ́ àwọn onídìí ẹ̀mọ́ ìṣẹ́ yẹn máa lọ ọkọ òun yẹn ó ní kò kì í fẹ́ kó òun wọ sùlánà o pé tó máa mú sùlánà báyìí tó máa wọ sùlánà báyìí kò ní fẹ́ òun máa lọ fi sílé àbò yìí wọ́n yà lọ ó mà tó ní problem máa dé lọ́yà omi àsímọ́ ní tẹ̀ máa tẹ̀ lò yẹn tẹ̀ wá jọ ọ̀pá mu akẹ́wò báyà ní ilé ta ó ní sọ wá lè lọ́dọ̀ bàbá ọ̀ṣọ́fà ó mà tó wà dọ́dọ̀ bàbá ọ̀ṣọ́fà báyìí tó dọ́dọ̀ bàbá ọ̀ṣọ́fà bàbá ní kó wá ìmọ́lẹ̀ kan ṣoṣo tó ní bàbá fún ẹ̀wọ̀ mo gbọ́ gbàtíjà yìí lè sọ báyìí mo crowd rẹ̀ sọ ní yé àwọn iná wà bẹ́ẹ̀ o ìmọ́lẹ̀ kan ṣoṣo ní bàbá fún bó ṣe yá wọ́n ní kókó lọ máa lọ straight ní kó máa lọ síbi ibi tí wíyà sí wà máa yà sí níbi kankan o wọ́n ní gbàdúrà sí pé tí èèyàn náà ìyàmọ́ mi bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ kan ṣoṣo yẹ ló gbé lọ ibẹ̀ ó ní kó ṣe tó báyìí ó ní kò tó jọ́ mẹ́ta bí ọ̀sẹ̀ yẹn àwọn Ìgbò dé wọ́n gbé owó Ghana must go ó ní ra ọkọ̀ kílẹ̀ tán ó tún bèrè sí olówó ìyàlẹ́nu bí bàbá sọ fàtí bàbá yẹn lẹ́mọ̀ àìmọye kọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ẹgbẹ́ bàbá ọṣẹ náà ni máa sọ pé ọṣẹ ó yá ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ báyìí ìbálẹ̀ ti lò ó ti iṣẹ́ ti lọ nìyẹn mo sì díẹ̀ wà ní mo sick ní kọ́tà wá sọ fẹ́ gbẹ̀mí ṣá ẹ bóyá oṣù báyìí èmi wà lájú ẹ̀ báyìí mo lè rí màlẹ́kà wọ́n rí màlẹ́kà wọ́n dúró ẹ̀ ó dúró wá dàbí Maria ó ṣe iṣẹ́ mọ́ báwọn India ṣe máa ń gbé wá dress kò sínú ẹlẹ́ o ó wá ra dúró báyìí ẹsẹ̀ gbogbo ẹsẹ̀ yẹn aṣọ yẹn bò wá dúró báyìí màlẹ́kà yìí màlẹ́kà yìí obìnrin ni ó rẹ̀ lórí mẹ́rin àbíkítà ní ẹgbó sí jọ Maria mọ́ ọ̀pá ní nǹkan ńlá náà fún mi àwọn tó ń ṣọ́ mi nìyẹn mo ní máa wò dáadáa kò tí ì lọ́kùn sí ìlú bẹ́ẹ̀ ó ní àwọn tó ń ṣọ́ mi nìyẹn ọba àfọwọ́ kọ̀ mí lórí báyìí ìbárí mọ́ ọba èkó mẹ́rin mi gan ọba tó rí ọdún padà bọ̀ mo ti gbójú síbẹ̀ àgùntàn ọ̀dọ́ àgùntàn yẹn mo á rí yẹn ó ní létí ro ó ṣe bí ìṣẹ́ wà náà àwọn ìwé yẹn náà ni ó ṣe kiri àwọn tó tẹ̀lé ṣíìpù yẹn ṣe mọ̀ ó wá ó fáìn kíní bí yẹn ó wá ṣe bí fada Christmas ṣe mọ̀ ó ń ṣe ṣaraṣara àmọ́ níbi tí mo tẹ̀lé ẹ̀ tiẹ̀ nímọ̀ bàbá ní ọ̀dọ́ àgùntàn lórí pé wọ́n sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ olóògùn ní bàbá ó bá ṣe àṣà yìí bí mo ṣe rí mọ́lì yẹn.
Aha! Thank you so much, the media team. Apologies for the small itches. You know, the experience is not so great. If we were on, like if we were watching it, you know, with a better technical capacity, and also if we're watching it live. If you're just joining us, this is the continuation of the video of our father as a family man. Papa's seniors and juniors, and so far we've shown you clips of different people and questions, you know, all pointing to who Papa is or was when he was alive. We'll be opening the floor now for comments while we cue the next videos, and to anchor that part will be Sister Oluwakemi Awonuga. We've watched, you know, quite a lot of videos from Wednesday till now, and we want to open the floor now for people to say something about what they've watched so far. Was this the notion you had about Papa SBJ Oshofa, or is this an eye-opener for you? You know, just something about the man. Just comment about the videos that you've watched so far, and if you're just joining us, like I said, this is day 5 of the 35th transition anniversary celebration of our father, Reverend Samuel Bilewu Joseph Oshofa, where we're showcasing videos of him as a family man. Don't forget that this is a week-long program, and this is a part 2 of the celebrations. We are celebrating, no doubt. And yes, right about now, if you're just joining us, you can catch up on this video on YouTube or on Facebook, and also join us on Instagram, True Word in Season, and you can follow us on Twitter for more information, TWI Season. And for more videos, www.truewordinseason.com. Right now, to coordinate that session where everyone, you know, say something about about the man based on the videos that we've watched so far, I want to welcome my co-anchor, Sister Oluwakemi Awonuga. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Sister Ayomide. We've learned a lot from this video, and we've seen a lot. And from Wednesday, it's been a whole lot. So this is time for us to make our comments. Let's make comments, and let's bring out these very salient points in all the things they've talked about. We have seen and we have heard a lot about this great man, Papa SBJ Oshofa. So let's make comments now. This is time for comments and questions. Thank you. Hello?
Okay, yeah, the floor is open now for comments. You know, just say something about Papa based on what you have watched so far. Yeah, I can see that there are people online, and if you've been watching us, say from Wednesday and Friday, the Sister Kemi is anchoring this part. Please say something about the man that you are coming to know now based on the videos that we've shown you so far. Yes. Sister Kemi, over to you, ma.
Yes, thank you very much, Temide. I have learned a whole lot. Let's start pouring in our comments. Like we really have a short time now. So let's start pouring in our comments about this video. I have learned a whole lot, and like I was telling my husband here, I was telling him during the video that, can you hear what they are saying about Papa, as in the very great Papa Oshofa, and how he is to his children and to his wife? That can you hear that? And he was also saying, can you listen to? I hope you are listening very well. So take your own and I take my own. Let everybody pick their own out of it. So learn from it. So I was like, okay, good. I can also learn from this. And I saw what I had to pick from it, and I kept pointing to him that I hope you are listening to this part very well. He's very attentive, very, very attentive. He never screams or shouts at anybody. They said no matter how hard the situation is, when they bring it up, he just laughs about it. One of his children even said he prays in a very, very jovial manner. He makes prayer seem very simple. So if you bring anything so big to Papa and you feel like, hey, this is one big thing, you just laugh about it, and before the end of the day, everybody is laughing. So it's so beautiful having such a great man, and yet so humble, so attentive, so gentle and generous. It's so beautiful. So please, let's start having our comments now. Yeah. We have a very short time now, so let's start pouring in.
Thank you, ma. I can't pass comments because, I walked right through the interviews, and there's so much to pick from that man. So much. So much.
Look.
And it doesn't really matter whether you're married now or you are not married. There's a lot of lessons to learn from that man. It makes it interesting, to know God and also, be a family man. It's like Papa is like, based on the videos, like a definition of is a perfect man. One of his children said you cannot find a fault in him. You cannot find a fault.
Wow.
Like they couldn't. That's why the fact that they had such a short time to spend with him, they could not find any fault in him. And I hope that by the time we stream this or we show this at Imeko, there are some parts of that video that would really sink in, and I hope that we can all, as we watch, pick one or two things from it. That some of the parts of that video we're talking about his last days, and for anyone that is, that's what I'm saying. Just something to look out for. Just something to look out for. Okay, Shebi. Hey. One thing in that man as a family man that I have come to learn is how humble he is. Regardless of who is speaking with him, regardless of what he's doing at the time, the humility surpasses any human definition. I don't want to say he's humble to a fault. He's humble. His humility is it's more like way above. Yeah, he's imported. His humility is not from here.
That's
You
for
know,
women.
during the interviews, I used to wonder,
Seriously.
can I be like this man? You know, because I don't know, but I guess we're still learning, and it's an opportunity for us, you know, to learn more. You know, it made me see
Yeah.
that.
And then
It made me see that you know, there's so much more to being a man called by God and having a family. It made me see the reason for a family to be united, and it is evident in the family of
united, yeah.
Joshua till date. You know, even if not for the opportunity, you know, we had to do the interviews, I would not know which child belonged to one or whose mother is this. It's still now I can barely tell, but
Yeah.
you know, until they say, you know, my mom is or my mom is, you know, the way Papa brought everyone together, he knitted them together until now. It's still the same thing. You imagine Auntie Regina saying that, you know, she was always with Auntie Yemi, you know, and I will tell you that they're not from the same mothers. But you will never know. You
Same
cannot
mother,
tell.
yes.
You cannot tell.
Myself and Yemi, myself and Yemi.
Exactly. And it just shows how the role that a father
Shows the
plays,
role.
especially in the life of the family, and also laying an example for his children, you know, so that they can also follow that path and not, you know, walk out of it. So those are the things that stood out for me, and the fact that he's always there paying attention. You know, I don't know, but maybe women like attention. No, Sister Kevin, do you agree? Hey, women like attention.
I super agree.
Yeah, women like
I can tell you that is why I told my husband that Shengbo.
Women like attention. Children like
And I was
attention.
like, sure, no more.
Yeah. So for such a man with, you know, there was never a time that he was free, but he was always available. You know, when somebody is super busy and always available, I don't know how he does it. I don't know how, but he doesn't. He didn't deny any of his children the attention that, you know, a child needs, you know, from a father. And you know, he was their best father, and it's something to learn from. It's really something to learn from, and take advantage of every opportunity that you have, you know, with your father, with your husband, you know, because you never know. They didn't believe that Papa was going to die, and I'm sure if I was his child, I would not believe that he was going to die. And you can imagine if he didn't have time for them at all just before he passed. I don't know how they would have been by now. But well, we thank God we are learning from him, even in his death. I don't want to say he's dead because Papa is not dead. He's not dead. Also, yes, that's how I like to put it. Even though he's not with us physically, you know, we're still learning from him, and that's such a good legacy from such an enigmatic man,
enigmatic leader.
Yes. You know, those qualities that you cannot buy, you cannot learn it, you cannot go to school to learn it. He didn't even go to school as much, so you wouldn't say that he learned all those things from his teachers or something. He had moral lesson or something. So he was and you know, the smile on this face, I can see somebody's display picture, Sister Olabisi. You know, the very wide grin, if you look at it, he's as happy as that. Yes, I want to get to that level, you know, when I'm all the time, when nothing worries me, when nothing troubles me, when nothing terrifies me, where I'm, you know, just at rest, that everything is fine. I think to a certain extent, Papa was able to do that with his family and with the church, and he didn't interfere. His relationship with the church did not interfere with his relationship with his family. He did not. I don't know how a man is able to do that. But something to learn from it. So we have opened the lines now for comments. I'm going to read from Oluwatobi, a great man with simple personality.
Simple personality.
Sister, Fumila Adebi says, SB Joshua, a family man to the core, who creates perfect relationship with his biological family and his church. We just mentioned that it's not, particularly easy. Some people will say, because of my career, that's why I don't have time for
That's
my
what.
children. That's why I don't have time for my family. Career. The day career will drop you, what happens? You are left with your family. So, I don't know, it's something to learn from. Any other comments before we go to the next video? Don't forget that I'll be airing all of these videos live in Imeko. So if you're going with us, please prepare. We will not have any internet issues. Nah, we will not have that. We'll be streaming it. We'll be showing it live now at Imeko on the 9th of the 18th. That's on Sunday. Yes, we'll be showing all of this live to you, and you will hear directly without any itches on Zoom, on Google Meet, or on Facebook. Any more comments before we go? Before we take the video, we're rounding up soon. We're rounding up soon, very soon. We're closing very. So we're waiting for comments from the audience. Anyone? You want to say something about what we've watched?
So far.
Anyone? You can just unmute your microphone and speak. It's fine. It's totally fine. Yes. Anyone? Oh.
So unlike shepherds of nowadays, yeah. So most people now they breed their children to be shepherds like them. I heard from the children that Papa Oshofa does not want you to be dependent on Celestial Church. He wants you to have the best education you can get, so you can stand on your own in future. You don't have to depend on Celestial Church in future. So and he keeps saying, all the children said, all the juniors were all Papa's children. They said, Papa keeps saying everybody in Celestial Church are his children, and yet he brought them up such that they are independent of the church. Like they don't have to grow up and depend on the church.
Okay.
And that's a very beautiful one, unlike what we have now. Unlike what we have now, is so beautiful. So what strikes me really hard about him again is how he's able to mix this spiritual and physical in a very gentle manner. You will not know that the very spiritual person is the person you're sitting with, being so physical. And like one of his wives said, that she wanted to know if he would know if she was unclean or not.
Yeah.
You see, and he caught her like off balance. Like, wow. Before that video came in, and his children were talking about how naughty they were, how they would take his money. We're talking underground here that, do you think that Papa did not know that you were taking that money? Do you get? Like, that was our comment underground. That was before we now saw that he realized, before his wife came close to him, that she was unclean. So you see that physical, spiritual relationship is so beautiful. He knows all of that, and he still treats them like, well, I don't know what you're doing. Just to make them feel loved and okay, be here and all of that. It's so beautiful. For a great man like that to be that attentive to his children, and that they feel so special. They go to wake him up. Great men of nowadays, their children will not even see them. Maybe they'll be like, okay, like the secretary, the chief secretary or head of one thing will now pass messages to them. Okay, your father can now see you. You can now see your father. They will go up by themselves in the morning.
Access.
Oh, how beautiful. When I heard that, it was so touching. For someone that had like the weight of the whole world on his shoulders, he had almost no time, but he still had time for the house.
He had time. He had time.
Yeah,
it's something
he lived
to learn.
in love with them.
Yes.
He lived in love with them, and he made them see how important love is, how to love each other. He showed them love, and he made it easy for them to love each other.
Yeah.
Wow, so beautiful.
Thank you.
So
We're taking comments now from Facebook. Yeah, some comments now from Facebook. I'm sure you're seeing them now. If you're just joining us, you can also watch this via Facebook. You can see how comments are pouring in from Facebook and from YouTube about our father, Reverend Samuel Bilewu Joseph Oshofa, an enigmatic leader. And remember, the theme for this year's celebration is a tabernacle that cannot be taken down. And Papa, I don't know if anybody's in Celestial Church and you are looking for an example or a person whose life you want to emulate. I don't think you need to search further. Like Papa Oshofa is there, even while he was alive and while he left us physically. We're still learning from him. 35 years. I did not even meet him. But this has given me the opportunity to see the man beyond, the one that wants to raise the dead and wants to heal the sick. And he did not deprive his family of that love, a fatherly love, the husband role. He played it perfectly, and people would wonder how such a man with such some people call it polygamous. What do you call it now? Yes. Polygamous pedigree was able to manage. Yes, was able to manage his home. And I know some people will say that even a man with one wife is still struggling, and here is a man. I was nothing in that in those interviews that pointed to the fact that Papa struggled with his family. So it's something to also learn. It's something to also learn, and his legacy till now still lives. We're rounding up very soon. We're just taking comments from other social media handles. I'm gonna take this one from comments. This is from Sister Luato Singh Onijo. As highly spiritual as Papa was, he had a good character. That's what Papa admonishes us on and emphasizes. We are not even yet as spiritual as he was, but we carry ourselves with some arrogance. We need to watch that and take after our own father. Hallelujah. Thank you so much, ma. Somebody already mentioned that. We will be rounding up in about 3 minutes. We want to thank everyone that has stood with us, on this program. Again, we apologize for the technical difficulties. We are in Nigeria. Those things we are not, we are still fighting with NSAS. And we are not able, maybe someday we will say, end technical issues, end internet provider issues. I'm hoping that we can get to that level and, have something that, better and befits us as Nigerians. And once again, I want to thank everyone. It's been an exciting session, an eye-opener, and an enlightening session. And I'm happy to anchor this session with Sister Oluwakemi Awonuga. Don't forget to join us at Imeko for the full documentary of this interviews that we just showed you. This is a preview. Actually, we just showed you. But we hope to meet you at Imeko for a night where we show you all these videos and where we will be convincing you and not confuse you that Papa was indeed a perfect man, both physical, natural, and spiritual. And without further ado, we're still taking comments. Yes, we're still taking comments. You can read through the comments on your screen. We're still taking comments from Facebook, from YouTube, and from Zoom. Yes, if you still want to share your comments, please go ahead before we eventually close. It's been a time worthwhile spending with everyone that has stayed put and joined us in this interview session of Papa's seniors and juniors. Don't forget to catch up on this video on Facebook, True Word in Season. It's also on YouTube, and you can follow us on Instagram and on Twitter. Instagram, True Word in Season, Twitter, TWI Season. And for more information, this program continues till Monday the 19th, 2020, where we have our father who will be talking to us about Papa SBG Shofar, the tabernacle that cannot be taken down. That's part 3 of that lecture series. And that would happen by 6 p.m. Don't forget to join us on all our social media handles. It's been an interesting session, and I'm always highly excited to anchor a program of such magnitude. And I want to call on our Father as we close. Yes, I want to call on our Father as we close to give us some closing remarks. We'll take the closing prayer and we'll close. Good. Thank you so much.
Wonderful God. Wonderful God. A man lives on earth and lives like almost without any error. Sometimes it's good to get acquainted close to people before you judge them. No wonder Jesus said in Matthew chapter 7 that do not judge. I guess this would erode a lot of wrong judgmental pronouncements made on the person of this wonderful spiritual giant. Well, we are still on it, and it will forever be there. Getting close to, learning from our aunts and uncles, listening to them and seeing it as it really was, it really happened. I pray God will be with us, and in all things, He would endow us with new spirit and a new heart, so that we can worship God truly in this church the way He gave it to Papa SBG Shofar. Because of a lot of silly judgments, men have erred out of their journey of faith. I pray He would hold us still and take us through. So shall it be for us. And until we meet again at Imeko, I pray the Lord that saw this man through his journey on earth will go with us. He will lead our way, protect us, grant us journey mercy, and all that we desire shall be our portion. Stay blessed. Thank you. Oh, you're ká fọ́pẹ́ fún ọba Olúwa. Ẹ jẹ́ ká wá fọ́pẹ́ fún Olúwa. Èèrà ilẹ̀ wọ́n dúpẹ́. Yọ̀ọ̀ni òkè wọ́n dúpẹ́. Ẹ jẹ́ ká hallelujah, so you want. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ní Olúwa. Encore.
Okay, Jehovah, Jesus Christ, Holy Michael, our Father and our Lord, we thank you, Lord, for this time. even for this time in our lives, that you once again bring us to the knowledge of truth in this church, making us a partaker of this goodly heritage. Be thou exalted in Jesus' name. As we go forth in this journey, O Lord, cause there to be a remembrance of all that you have said as touching our lives to come for us in Jesus' name. Let us not lose out in this journey. Let our journey with you in this life, in this way, not be in vain in Jesus' name. And as we continue with these programs, O Lord, all it is that we're looking unto you for, even in this month of rest, grant unto us in Jesus' name. At the end of this program, let us be witnesses of your power in our lives in Jesus' name. Holy Mary, Mother of Jesus, go with us. Don't forsake us. At the end of this journey, O Lord, let us have more cause to glorify your name. For in Jesus Christ's name, I pray. Amen. 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 Our Father,
And to the Holy Spirit, glory be
Glory
to
to
God.
the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy.
As it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, one without end. Jẹ́ kí ọ̀fẹ́ Jésù Kristo lọ wa, fẹ́ mọ́tò lọ́rùn, dàpọ̀ tẹ̀lé lọ, kó bà lé wa, kó pẹ̀lú wa, kó dá wa sí, kó ṣe wá yẹ, káwà ní alààyè pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ láì àti bẹ̀rẹ̀. Méje fún Jésù.
I'm play. No. I play tracking again. Thank you all. Good night and God.